I think I messed up. I never should have boarded that train. I boarded a train that wasn't supposed to exist, a train that seemed to come from another world. And now, I can't escape. The walls of the station seemed to close in on me. Mia stood alone at the deserted train station, her heart pounding in her chest. No lights, no announcements, only the wind whispering through cracked tiles. The silence was deafening. Suddenly, from the darkness of the tunnel, it emerged. A sleek, black locomotive with windows like empty eyes. It was as if the train itself was alive, watching her. Hesitating, she felt an eerie familiarity. It was as if she had seen this train before, in a dream or a nightmare. The train wasn't on any schedule. It was as if it had materialized out of thin air. A deep chime echoed as the doors slid open, revealing a dimly lit interior. The air inside was cold and stale. With a strange sense of déjà vu, Mia stepped inside. The atmosphere was thick with an unspoken dread. The passengers were eerily silent, their faces were pale, almost ghostly. Some stared ahead, others whispered in hushed voices. Their whispers sounded like the rustling of dead leaves. A man clutched a yellowed newspaper dated 1984. The paper was brittle, as if it had been untouched for decades. A woman murmured about going home, but her reflection wasn't hers. It was someone else's. The face in the glass was twisted in agony. A chill crawled up Mia's spine. Something was wrong. She approached the conductor, her hands trembling. "Where does this train go?" she asked. He smiled. Thin, unnatural. "Home," he whispered. His eyes were empty, devoid of life. Mia turned to leave, but the doors had vanished. Panic set in as she realized she was trapped. Outside there were no buildings, no streets, just endless fog. It was as if the train was floating in a void. The passengers watched her, eyes filled with sorrow and hunger. They seemed to be waiting for something. A voice crackled over the intercom. "All lost souls prepare for arrival." Mia's breath hitched. Lost souls? The realization hit her like a freight train. She remembered her car skidding off a bridge, drowning in icy water. She had died. The memory was vivid, the cold water filling her lungs. This wasn't a train home. It was a train to the afterlife. It was for the forgotten, those who had no place in the living world. Desperate, she ran to the back of the train, finding an emergency door. Her heart raced as she fumbled with the latch. Prizing it open, a fierce wind roared, revealing the swirling abyss outside. The void seemed to call to her. With one deep breath, Mia leaped into darkness, and then she awoke. The sensation of falling lingered. Gasping, coughing water, she was back by the riverbank, headlights in the distance. Paramedics rushed toward her. She had survived. The cold air stung her lungs. Glancing at the road, she saw it. The train, fading into the mist, its passengers watching with hollow eyes. They seemed to be bidding her farewell, waiting for the next lost soul. Their eyes were filled with a longing that sent shivers down her spine. "The next departure is sooner than you think." The words echoed in her mind, a haunting reminder of the journey she narrowly escaped.